Fixtures and trade fixtures practice test. Question 1. Which real estate term is defined by a standard 1 square mile unit in the government survey system? Option A, section. Option B, planned unit development. Option C, lot and block system. Option D, estate for years. The correct answer is option A, section. A regular the 1 square mile survey division contains 640 acres. Fractional descriptions divide this unit into halves, quarters, and smaller parts. It forms one of 30-6 numbered divisions in a standard township. Question 2. In a transaction involving a subdivision lot, which rule controls when there is the identified location from which a meets minus and minus bounds boundary description starts and ends? Option A, severalty ownership. Option B, point of beginning. Option C, riparian rights. Option D, real property. The correct answer is option B, point of beginning. Failure to close can signal an error or ambiguity in the legal description. A boundary description must connect its final call back to its starting location. The starting reference should be identifiable on the ground or through reliable survey information. Question 3. A salesperson asks about a legal description using directions, distances, monuments, and a point of beginning. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, section. Option B, tenancy in common. Option C, meets and bounds. Option D, bundle of rights. The correct answer is option C, meets and bounds. A valid description returns to the starting point to close the tract. Natural or artificial monuments may help identify corners and boundary lines. The description traces the parcel boundary through a sequence of calls.
Stressed about your property and casualty? We can take property and casualty for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. Leah encounters a form of co-ownership available to married spouses with survivorship protection during a lease negotiation. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, township. Option B, government survey system. Option C, real property. Option D, tenancy by the entirety. The correct answer is option D, tenancy by the entirety. Divorce commonly converts the ownership into another concurrent form. One spouse generally cannot convey the property alone or unilaterally destroy the other spouse's survivorship right. The spouses are treated as one ownership unit for the property interest. Question 5. Which choice best matches the description possession by a tenant who remains after a lawful lease has ended without the landlord's consent? Option A, tenancy at sufferance. Option B, heir rights. Option C, tenancy in common. Option D, cooperative ownership. The correct answer is option A, tenancy at sufferance. The occupant entered legally but stays beyond the authorized period. This status is different from trespass at the beginning because the original possession was valid. The landlord may pursue lawful eviction or accept rent and create a new tenancy. Question 6. During review of a cooperative unit in Colombia, the parties discuss water-related rights of owners whose land borders a flowing body of water. Which term applies? Option A, literal rights. Option B, riparian rights. Option C, joint tenancy. Option D, estate for years. The correct answer is option B, riparian rights. Boundaries and access can change as the watercourse changes gradually. The owner may have reasonable use of the water subject to public rights and the rights of other owners. State law determines the exact scope of use and ownership. Question 7. An exam scenario presents ownership of shares in a corporation coupled with a proprietary lease to occupy a unit. Which answer is most accurate? Option A, section. Option B, literal rights. Option C, cooperative ownership. Option D, bundle of rights. The correct answer is option C, cooperative ownership. The resident owns an interest in the entity that owns the entire building. Transfers and financing may require approval under the cooperative documents. Occupancy rights come from a lease connected to the shareholder status. Question 8. A licensee preparing for an inspection period must recognize land together with permanently attached improvements and associated legal rights. Which concept does this describe? Option A, fixture. Option B, fee simple absolute. Option C, point of beginning. Option D, real property. The correct answer is option D, real property. Movable belongings are classified separately unless they become fixtures. Land and items permanently attached to it are treated as immovable property. The ownership interest also includes legally recognized rights such as possession, control, exclusion, enjoyment, and disposition.
Are you looking for property and casualty actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access property and casualty study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get property and casualty answer key today.
Question 9. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving a 6-mile-square survey unit containing 30-6 sections under the rectangular survey system in the property-management audit described? Option A, township. Option B, trade fixture. Option C, tenancy in common. Option D, periodic tenancy. The correct answer is option A, township. The survey grid unit covers 30-6 square miles before adjustments for irregularities. Section numbers within the grid follow a standard back minus and minus fourth pattern. The survey grid units are located by their positions north or south of a baseline and east or west of a principal meridian. Question 10. At a buyer consultation in Rockville, Victor explains water-related rights of owners whose land borders a lake, sea, or ocean. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A, personal property. Option B, literal rights. Option C, tenancy at sufferance. Option D, joint tenancy. The correct answer is option B, literal rights. The classification depends on the type of water adjoining the property. Public access rules, environmental regulation, and changing shorelines can limit the owner's control. These rights concern use and enjoyment along a non-flowing or tidal body of water. Question 11. A transaction file for a single-family home raises an issue involving equipment installed by a commercial tenant for use in the tenant's business. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A, tenancy at sufferance. Option B, subsurface rights. Option C, trade fixture. Option D, tenancy at will. The correct answer is option C, trade fixture. Business equipment installed by a tenant is usually removable before the lease ends. Removal must occur without substantial damage, and the tenant may have to repair any injury caused by removal. Leaving the equipment after the permitted removal period can result in ownership passing to the landlord. Question 12. Which concept should a closing agent apply to facts involving a development arrangement combining individually owned property with shared facilities or common areas? Option A, fixture. Option B, fee simple absolute. Option C, severolte ownership. Option D, planned unit development. The correct answer is option D, planned unit development. Recorded declarations and rules control common expenses and use restrictions. Owners usually hold title to their lots or units and share responsibilities through an association. The design may mix housing types and uses under an approved development plan. Question 13. Nora is studying a rule concerning a leasehold with a definite beginning and ending date. Which term should be chosen? Option A, estate for years. Option B, lot and block system. Option C, severolte ownership. Option D, heir rights. The correct answer is option A, estate for years. This tenancy ends automatically on the stated expiration date. The name refers to certainty of term and can describe a period shorter than 1 year. No notice is normally required because the parties know the exact duration at formation. Question 14. When a retail suite transaction involves a possessory arrangement with no fixed ending date that may be terminated by either party, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, planned unit development. Option B, tenancy at will. Option C, bundle of rights. Option D, real property. The correct answer is option B, tenancy at will. It lacks the definite expiration found in a term tenancy. The arrangement continues only while both landlord and tenant consent. Applicable law or the agreement determines the notice needed to end possession. Question 15. A practice question describes co-ownership characterized by a right of survivorship and traditionally equal unified interests. Which response is best? Option A, tenancy by the entirety. Option B, meets and bounds. Option C, joint tenancy. Option D, bundle of rights. The correct answer is option C, joint tenancy. The required unities must exist when the ownership form is created. A transfer by one owner can sever the survivorship feature as to that share. When one owner dies, that share passes automatically to the surviving joint owner or owners. Question 16. During a lease negotiation, which principle is illustrated by movable items that are not permanently attached to land. Option A, literal rights. Option B, riparian rights. Option C, air rights. Option D, personal property. The correct answer is option D, personal property. An item may change classification if it is permanently installed as a fixture. They can usually be transferred by delivery or a bill of sale rather than by deed. Movable belongings generally remain separate from the real estate. Question 17. Which answer states the concept associated with the broadest private ownership interest of potentially unlimited duration? Option A, fee simple absolute. Option B, fixture. Option C, government survey system. Option D, reversion interest. The correct answer is option A, fee simple absolute. This estate provides the greatest collection of ownership rights recognized in private property. It may be sold, gifted, devised, or inherited and is not limited by a stated ending event. Government powers and private encumbrances can still restrict its use. Question 18. A listing broker handling a small apartment building in Laurel must identify the rights associated with minerals and resources below the land surface. Which choice is correct? Option A, township. Option B, subsurface rights. Option C, literal rights. Option D, estate for years. The correct answer is option B, subsurface rights. A surface owner may not own every mineral interest affecting the parcel. These interests can be separated from surface ownership by sale, lease, or reservation. Title review should identify severed mineral rights and access provisions. Stressed about your AccuPlacer? We can take AccuPlacer for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. During a due diligence meeting for a rental home in College Park, Yasmin needs to identify the rule described as a future interest retained by the grantor after conveying a lesser estate. Which answer applies? Option A, metes and bounds. Option B, periodic tenancy. Option C, reversion interest. Option D, bundle of rights. The correct answer is option C, reversion interest. The grantor keeps the right to regain possession when the temporary estate ends. This differs from a remainder, which is created in someone other than the grantor. No new deed is required for the interest to return according to the original conveyance. Question 20. A associate broker is reviewing a condominium unit in Silver Spring. Which term describes title held by one person or one legal entity? Option A, government survey system. Option B, estate for years. Option C, joint tenancy. Option D, severolte ownership. The correct answer is option D, severolte ownership. The term describes the title arrangement rather than the physical number of people involved in the entity. The owner holds the complete ownership interest without concurrent co-owners. A corporation or limited liability company can hold title in this form even though it has multiple stakeholders. Question 21. At a property management audit, a Maryland exam candidate encounters the following description: an item once movable that has become attached with the intent that it remain. Which concept is being tested? Option A, fixture. Option B, subsurface rights. Option C, lot and block system. Option D, fee simple absolute. The correct answer is option A, fixture. Once classified this way, the item ordinarily transfers with the property unless the contract provides otherwise. Disputes are reduced when the sales contract identifies included and excluded items. Attachment, adaptation, intent, and agreement help determine whether an installed item becomes part of the real estate. Question 22. Priya is assisting with a duplex transaction in Baltimore. Which principle applies when the facts involve the collection of legal powers associated with real property ownership? Option A, severolte ownership. Option B, bundle of rights. Option C, real property. Option D, literal rights. The correct answer is option B, bundle of rights. A person may transfer or limit one right while retaining the others. These rights include possession, control, exclusion, enjoyment, and disposition. Ownership is commonly analyzed as separate rights rather than one indivisible privilege. Question 23. Which answer most accurately identifies individual ownership of a unit combined with an undivided interest in common elements in a real estate transaction? Option A, tenancy in common. Option B, tenancy by the entirety. Option C, condominium ownership. Option D, real property. The correct answer is option C, condominium ownership. The unit owner receives title to a defined space and shares ownership of common areas. Association documents govern maintenance, assessments, and use restrictions. Financing and transfer generally involve the individual unit rather than shares in a corporation. Question 24. A question arising during contract revision concerns an ownership interest measured by the lifetime of a named person. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, joint tenancy. Option B, metes and bounds. Option C, planned unit development. Option D, life estate. The correct answer is option D, life estate. The interest ends automatically at death and then passes to the future interest holder. The holder may possess and use the property while the measuring life continues. The life tenant must avoid waste that harms the property for later owners. Question 25. While analyzing a vacant parcel, Imani must apply the concept involving a leasehold that renews for successive periods until proper notice is given. Which answer should be selected? Option A, periodic tenancy. Option B, estate for years. Option C, tenancy at sufferance. Option D, bundle of rights. The correct answer is option A, periodic tenancy. The tenancy continues from period to period instead of ending on a fixed date. Termination requires notice that complies with the lease and applicable law. Rent is commonly paid monthly, but another recurring interval may be used.